Well, good evening, everybody. It's Maggie here with Grassroots Dog Training. I've got a special Q&A session for you guys right now. But before we get started, why are you drinking a glass of wine? As you see, I've got my poop emoji in the background. I think I'm going to try something new. If you can count accurately the number of times that I use the word shit in this video, and go ahead and leave it in the comments below, I will be willing to give you a free 30-minute consultation for you and your business. But you have to count them accurately. How many times do I say the word shit? So you guys ready to get down to the nitty-gritty? I am. My nifty laptop here right now. So Rachel writes in, Maggie, I've got a couple questions. I know it's important to do a bit of free work to get the ball rolling to produce results as a professional dog trainer. All right, makes sense. But I've now got 11 weeks of back-to-back board and train scheduled, as well as up to my third consult package, private lesson package. And I tend to do about 5 lessons per person, as I found this to be pretty effective. My knowledge is of some trainers in my area, from what I've seen and heard, is to show up once, rattle off a bunch of stuff that may have a little bit of follow-up with people. Then she goes on to write that she's thinking about starting off at $300 for 5 consults or 5 lessons. Mind you, this is in Aussie land money, whatever you guys call your currency. Okay? So she goes on to write, I'm not sure and I'm a little hesitant, so my 2 questions are, when and how do I flip from free charging to, question number 2, how do I get shit, question number shit, by the way, we said number 2. How do I get beyond the fear that no one will actually want to hire me? Sincerely, Rachel. First of all, I adore you, Rachel, and I know that you're working hard down there in Australia. But here's the thing. If people reject you based on your price and they don't want to charge you anything, at least you don't have to do the work that you're doing for free. It's a shitty message. Business practices aren't that different just because you're in the land down under. So, there's quite a few things that I'd like to touch on at this time because you're in a whole lot of shit, my friend. Understand the allure of wanting to not charge when you're just getting into dog training. However, there's a few things that can happen as a result. You work yourself into a corner, much like you already sound like you are. Regardless of if you're charging right now or not, free is no money at all, which means that you're not going to be able to reinvest in yourself like a single iota. It's just really shitty. Now, the other thing is when you're not charging anything, you're not able to really get full, what you can call compliance, or motivation for that matter, out of the clients that you're serving. If they see a $0 price tag, $0 price tags always mean lesser value. And people in general, we are hardwired to not pay attention to things of lesser value. For the love of God, don't paint yourself back into that shitty corner. If you are the type that are truly dedicated to continuing your education, which you should be, then your client is actually buying your dedication. They're prepping your next client for having that much more to bring to the table. It's a sustainable business model because you can sustainably afford to keep getting better, which raises your value, which makes charging more completely makes sense and worth it, right? Here's what you can do. If you're struggling with that sense that you're not really sure how much you have to bring to the table, remember a few things. First of all, you are affecting every single day of that person's life and the dog's life equally, if not even more. And that's like truthfully what we all come to the table for, is to really help the dogs. And a lot of us, the people too, for obvious reasons. Even though people can be shitty sometimes. And yes, I know some of you might be thinking at this point that it's just some drunk dog trainer talking about business with a poop emoji pillow, which is awesome, if I might say so myself. Bob Bailey, the amazing Bob Bailey. For those of you that aren't aware of him, you should be. It's fucking Bob Bailey, man. Even Bob Bailey, one of the best things that I learned from him early on in my career is the 20% rule, which is you should charge what you need to, then tack on 20%. Okay? Figure out what your overhead is. Figure out, what it costs you to stay in business. Always save 20% of all of your income, because if you don't, you're going to end up in a really shitty position not having enough money to reinvest in yourself. Don't do that. So in closing on that piece of the conversation, just realize that if you're not charging 20% more than what you're already comfortable with, that means you're totally doing yourself an injustice, therefore your clients, and you're not shitty all the way around, but you're getting close if you don't change your habits now. Now for my next portion of my shitty video message. So I've got my nifty conversion calculator out for Aussie land money and US currency. So it looks like it is $230, which would be American currency for your 5-session package. That's not good, sweetheart. So we're looking at $230 for your package, and divided by, we're going to assume that each consult or lesson is about an hour, which we all know is a crock of shit because we always stay at least an hour and 15 minutes, 30, a lot of us 2 hours. If you're a bad talker, it can be even longer. Oh my God, if you get a client talker, oh boy. So we're looking at $46 a session. Okay, so for the American market in dog training, that's about 50%. Now, let's say you're making $46 an hour, and as a matter of fact, I'm going to go back so you in Aussie land can understand. So 40, did we say 46? Oh my God, there's my brain. Okay, so US dollars conversion, 46. So we're looking at the Australian dollar, it's about $60 per hour. Okay. In theory, that sounds great when you have to do all of your work for yourself because you're a solopreneur, entrepreneur, or whatever. It takes a lot more time. So for every hour that you're charging, you're really looking at about a total of 3 hours. Kind of like when you're in college, you say every unit hour, whatever, you're really looking at an extra 2 hours of study time. It's the same kind of deal. So what you're really saying is that you are making, so American currency, $46 an hour, now divided by 3. So in America, if we were charging that, we'd only be paying ourselves about $15 an hour. Hell, you can go to work, flipping burgers somewhere and make the same amount of money. So this is not good. Certainly not good when you're considering that 20% reinvestment ratio, right? So I would suggest at a bare minimum that you consider, I want to say in the 900 Aussie dollar land. So let's see. If we were to do 900 Australian dollars, see, these are why calculators are great, you guys. Be $690 US. I'm used to using US dollars, so I'm going to use that. So that's $690 divided by 5 hours, your 5 sessions. You're looking at about 138, which is appropriate. You've got more than enough so that if your time goes over, if you need to write up follow-up emails, all of that good stuff, your time is going to be amply covered. You're not going to become bitter and feel like you're working your ass off and people don't, respect you and they're taking advantage. And if people are paying you a decent amount, you're never going to have those concerns. So you guys see how fast those types of conversions can go. This is kind of my shorthand way of starting to quickly work out what your pay should actually look like and what you should be charging for your services. However, let's talk a little bit more about the internal services themselves and what you can offer immediately. I'm closing my computer down. Rachel, what you can offer immediately right off of the bat to your clients, like starting tomorrow. Probably stuff that you already offer, you just didn't realize that you can add it as incentive when you're talking to people initially in terms of like sales before you actually sell them a program package. So here's the bottom line. Dog owners these days, times are shitty. And, money's tight, time is tight more than anything. So people are really looking for support. They want to know that you have got their back. So some of the extra things that you can bring to the table in terms of value is unlimited phone calls, unlimited check-ins. You can have people send you little videos, things like that. Really encourage people and charge people to stay in these little increments of time because we have that ability as dog trainers now. We can do that, once a day with people if we wanted to. to. So you add all that into your time, plus the fact that you're now creating not just a package, but a program. You're offering just yourself. You're offering that extra support, that person that they can go back and talk to and ask little questions back and forth. They can come back and trust you. So bottom line is, make sure that that you understand that you have all of those things to bring to the table, even just with the addition of technology these days. Very much like I'm using my phone to record myself drinking wine, talking to my camera, as if there's some fake audience out there watching me. I know you guys are there. Don't worry. I feel you. I feel you guys. Go ahead and leave a comment or question below. There's a lot more things I wanted to get to in this video, but I think I'll go ahead and wind it down just about there. Let me know your thoughts and feelings. Have you struggled with pricing? I know you've got many more questions too, Rachel, so don't forget to follow up with a comment or question down below yourself. If you enjoyed this video, please don't hesitate to give a shitty hand job to the old thumbs up down below, because I do have a new poop emoji pillow, by the way, given to me by a lovely blind lady. Sarah, I love you too. Look at those eyes. They're definitely not the eyes of a blind poop emoji. Can see your soul. Till next time, guys. I will talk to you later.